Hello and welcome to another planning appeal case study video. I'm John Peters, and in this video I'm going to explain how we overcame a recent refusal by Teignbridge Council for one of our clients. This planning appeal was to overcome the refusal for a proposed balcony that was refused by the local authority, Teignbridge Planning Department. Our client was initially booked in for a free no obligation consultation to run through the refusal reasons that had been used by Teignbridge Council and to evaluate if an appeal was viable or if an alternative would be best suited for them. The free no obligation consultation, which took in this case around 20 minutes, found that the case was viable for appeal to the Planning Inspectorate, taking the decision process away from Teignbridge Council Planning Department. This case was refused by Teignbridge for the following reasons. The proposed development would significantly and demonstrably worsen unacceptable overlooking to a domestic garden and commercially used swimming pool by virtue of the height of the development and the intensification of use, and would have an adverse impact on the safety and amenity of users and occupants of the adjacent property. Balcony appeals are not the easiest to win, as there is most of the time a provable case of overlooking. But is the overlooking causing additional harm that windows don't already cause? It is not unusual for us to find a number of various errors in various local authority planning officers' decisions. These errors do help support the appeal case. We do suspect the increase in these errors recently has been caused by cutbacks at local authorities and unprecedented increase in workloads that are piled on the reduced numbers of planning officers. Many of you are repeatedly stating to us during your no obligation planning appeal assessment that you had little or no correspondence throughout the application process, and the first thing you knew was receiving a refusal notice from the council, and in some cases when you receive a letter from ourselves. With planning appeals, experience matters. Our specialist appeals team, who handle over 2.5% of all planning appeals in England and Wales that are currently produced and submitted, start by producing a comprehensive and robust appeal statement that in this specific case covered 23 pages and just over 5,700 words. It's important to detail in the appeal statement where the local authority failed in their assessment of the case and how and where possible both local and national policies apply in favour of the appeal. Additionally, if possible, bringing in similar cases that the Planning Inspectorate found in favour of at appeal. Obviously, with the back catalogue we have of wins, we are able to use these cases and what the inspector said in them as additional argument to support the case we are working on. Recently we had a client state that a competitor of ours said that they use our wins to help them produce their appeals. I suppose that's a compliment to our team, but obviously with that methodology it does not give them the underlying knowledge to be able to adapt arguments to specific cases. It is important to know that no two cases are the same and the arguments need to be produced for the specific case in hand. Once an appeal statement is completed, we send the document to our client, asking them to check that they are happy for us to submit the case. If we need to add any additional information that the client may have forgotten previously to supply, it's done at this point and the case is then submitted. It is vitally important that all documents and responses are submitted on time throughout the process, as failure to do so will result in the appeal not being successful, something we hear about often when people attempt an appeal for the first time themselves. Always ensure you use a professional who has considerable experience of appeals. It is worth asking them for some recent successful planning appeal case studies, like you'll find on our website. Due to the large number of cases we represent, we have a dedicated team that liaises with the Planning Inspectorate on a daily basis. For this appeal, an independent planning inspector from the Planning Inspectorate visited the site on the 9th of May, and we're pleased to confirm the appeal was upheld and the permission granted on the 29th of May in a 4-page appeal decision notice. If you'd like to find out if we can help you with your planning appeal, complete our online form on our website www.planningappealsuk.com. and our new case support team will arrange for a free no obligation consultation with one of our planning appeal assessment professionals. Would you like to find an appeal case study for a certain type of application or even in a selected area? We have so many and not all of them are published or filmed, but that does not mean we can't show you what you're looking for. Ask our planning appeal assessment professional during your free no obligation consultation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this planning appeal case study video, and I look forward to producing another one very shortly. Thank you very much. Bye.